Our final speaker is Dagmar. She'll be talking about a subject we can all relate to, public speaking. The objective of her project is to prepare a speech that will build goodwill for her organization, Toastmasters, by supplying useful information, interest to the audience. It's not to sell Toastmasters like a persuasive speech is designed to do, but instead, it's supposed to favorably influence the audience by skillful and friendly delivery of her talk. Please welcome up Dagmar giving her speech, Personal Tips from My Toast of the Bay Journey. Dagmar.
Thank you, Stephen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're all here because we know, obviously, communication is really essential in life. The ability to express ourselves is critical interpersonally, if you're a member of any kind of civic or social organization, and particularly in business. People that don't present themselves well, and I'm talking about interpersonally as well as public speaking, don't rise very far in the ranks, right, in business. I'm going to take you back to probably maybe 25 years ago, in kind of my early days of my career as a marketing manager. Back then I was a marketing manager, I was a project manager, and I was petrified of talking in front of people. It was okay one-on-one, but as soon as I got in a group and I had to actually present, I could barely talk. My voice was so shaky, the butterflies were flying around in there, I could barely get out my words, and it was really embarrassing. But over the years, I slowly was forced into having given presentations from time to time, and I became less nervous, let's just say, but I was really never very good. And I managed to keep my jobs, but I never really was rising up the ranks like I was hoping to, like I saw other people did do that, could present themselves well. Let's fast forward about 4 years ago, just a little over 4 years ago, and my company, which I was now still, brought in an executive coaching company to give us a one-day executive speaking presentation skill training. And several of us were given a little assignment. We had 3 minutes to give a speech, and we had the subject matter that the speech was going to be on. Well, I thought, okay, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to present this? So I wrote it all out. I'm a pretty good writer. It's the speaking part that's always been the problem for me. So I memorized it. I wrote this 3-minute speech. I memorized it word for word for word. And I said it over and over and over again until I could do it in my sleep. So when my big day came, and there was video cameras, the president of the company, and a couple of senior executives were in the room, yes, I was nervous, but not terribly nervous, because I had my speech memorized. I got up there, delivered it, and I thought I did okay, but I got really dinged because, it was so memorized. It sounded like I wasn't being real, like I wasn't really relating to the audience. I thought, okay, that does it. Time to join Toastmasters. I always knew about Toastmasters. I thought that, so I looked up Toast of the Bay. That was the closest one. And 4 years later, I'm still here. What I'm going to do tonight is to share with you tips that I've learned. Now, anybody can go online and look up tips for public speaking and get some great ones. But the key is not just to intellectually know them, but to really incorporate them in your essence, make them part of you, so that when you talk, they become part of how you talk. The first one is, it's all about your audience. Now this is sort of an umbrella for the other three that I'm going to talk about, but I want to start with this because so many of us start when, tonight I'm seeing some really great examples, and some of you new members are great. You can just come up here. I could never have done that when I was at your point in talking because of my nervousness, but so many of us think about, how am I going to come off? Am I going to mess up? Am I going to forget something? Am I going to stumble over my words? Rather, they should be thinking about, how are the people I'm talking to taking in what I have to say? Are they getting my voice? Am I clear so that they're following along with me? Are they engaged with me? So really, it is all about your audience. A couple of examples. When I was married, my sister-in-law well, my mother-in-law died, and my sister-in-law had always been petrified of getting in front of people and talking. But she was so passionate and so interested in wanting to tell people about her mother and what she was really like, that she spoke at the funeral, and she was just excellent, because she didn't think at all about herself. She thought about really getting across what her mother was like to the people at the funeral. And I've heard that is true also with teachers. Some teachers are so passionate about their subjects that they don't even think about themselves. They think about how they can relate their own passion and their own knowledge of the subject to their students. And that's kind of bringing home the point about it is all really about your audience when you talk. The second point I want to make is be yourself. Well, you can think, okay, well, I am myself. What do you mean, be myself? One way to express your personality when you're talking, and everybody has their own unique personality, is to not write your entire speech out, go through it, and then have it up with you, because as soon as you look back, you forget something, you look back, you lose yourself, you disengage the audience. What you should do when you write your speech out, go ahead and do that. Pull out the main points, beginning, middle, end, and then boil it down to just bullet points, or maybe even just key words. If you forget something, you can have just those key words here. But what it allows you to do is come out, talk to the people that you're talking to, make sure it is about your audience, and you're going to be able to be more natural and express your personality. The third one, and this is a quick one, pause and breathe. One way I got over my nervousness, when I was sitting in the audience before I needed to get up and talk to people, I would breathe slowly in, breathe slowly out, and as I breathed out, imagine the butterflies just flying away. When you're speaking, give a little pause now and again so people can catch up to you and just take a chance to take a breath. And then finally, just do it over and over. Just do it. Get up here. That's the beauty of Toastmasters. You get the opportunity to speak again and again, so you can keep practicing and keep improving yourself. Unlike a one-day seminar or even a week seminar, where you don't get to embody these principles. So as you go along your journey of public speaking, even the best speakers never reach the end. There is no end. They're always improving. But as you go along, you'll get your own tips that you can embody and become continually better and better speaker. That's the end of my speech about public speaking. So, Mr. Toastmaster.